Okay, so I wanted to make a video talking about this discovery that I guess, put together by looking at various different things. So, um, this is all about the magic square of the moon, which is the 9 by 9, so 9 down, 9 across, which make 81 in total. So the numbers associated with the magic square of the moon are 9, 81, 369, and 3,321. So, uh, so this is the magic square of the moon, which has been a part of what? Alchemy, Western astrology, Western occultism, right? But this is Yggdrasil. It is like the Norse tree of life. It is it's like it encodes the 9 worlds of the Norse mythology, but at the same time it represents like the chakra system of 9. So there are 5 in the center here, and then you have these 2 on either side, which make 4. So 4 and 5 make 9, right? And so what I did was I created this shape, or I shaded the certain portions within the magic square of the moon. Sorry for the shaky cam. Sorry. What I did was I overlaid 2 Yggdrasil over the magic square of the moon, right? And what I noticed is that it makes this shape. One going horizontal, and one vertical. So it made this shape, and so it highlighted specific numbers within the magic square of the moon. Obviously, 41 is important because if you were to lay out numbers on a number line from 1 to 81, 41 would be on the center, because you'd have the first 40, the 1 in the center, and then the second 40, making 81 in total, 41 in the center. And also, 41 is the center of the magic square of the moon. Now, what I did was I took all these numbers and, what I first did was I noticed these were the 3 things that came to mind whenever I was crafting this. Was the Tao Te Ching, which has 81 chapters, right? Or verses, poems, stanzas, whatever. And then we have the magic square of Mun, which is the 9 by 9 grid, and the Yggdrasil world tree, the chakra map of 9. And what I did was I looked at the horizontal, all the ones that were in the horizontal, right? Which is like all of these except for these 4, right? What I did was I laid them out in order from least to greatest, right? Oh yeah, just to explain something real quick. So the reason why these numbers are significant is because it's a 9 by 9 grid, right? 9 and 9. 81 because there are 81 squares in total. 369 is important for the magic square of the moon because every line, whether horizontal, vertical, or even the 2 that have 9 across diagonally, if you add up all the numbers of that column or row, which typically they show you it like this, right? But I look at it like a diamond. All of the lines, no matter which way you count them, right? So, for instance, all the numbers in this line will sum to 369, and this one, and this one, and this one. So that's why they're called the magic squares. Even these 2 diagonal ones, right? These 2 that make the X across, even those sum up to 369, right? And, with Cancer glyph being of astrology being 6 and 9, right? And then we have that other reference to 6, 9, but anyways. So if you triangulate 81, or add up every number in the whole thing, it sums to 3,321, right? Which if you were to use Pythagorean addition, Kabbalistic reduction, decimal parity, whatever you want to call it, and add up all of these, they all will break down to 9. Pretty much any multiple of 9 will always break down to 9. 9 is different like that. What I did was, again, I took all of the ones of the, using this shape, I have one going vertically, and then I turned it, right, and then did it horizontally. So, just looking at the for instance, the horizontal one, right, so not including these 4 up here, up and down here, right, it's just these across in the middle. I laid out the numbers from least to greatest, and then I did the same thing for the vertical, right? What's interesting about both of them is that all the numbers that are in them, and you can double check this, you know, pause the video and do your own math, they all sum to 369. So not only just the lines, but these specific shapes will sum to 369, both of them. And when you divide them by 9, you get 41. 369 is 9 times 41, right? Sorry for the shaking camera, but another interesting thing is, see, 1 to 81, 41 sits perfectly in the center. Between 1 and 41, 21 sits perfectly in the center. Between 41 and 81, 61 sits perfectly in the center. And then 11 is in between 1 and 21. 31 is perfectly in between 21 and 41. And 51 is in between 41 and 61. And 71 is in between 61 and 81. Perfect, you know, spaces between them. Because look, you have 10, the gap of 10, a gap of 10, gap of 10, gap of 10, right? And if you add all these up, it sums to 369. So, here, I'm going to switch hands. Yeah, that's much better. So, yeah. And then what I did was I found all of them that were in both of them, right? So 31 and 33 are in both, as you can see. And then 49 and 51 are in both. And 41 is obviously in both. And if you put all those together, right, it sums to 205, which when divided by 5, because there's 5 of them, right, you get 41, right? Also, if you were to just take 41 the center and 81 on the end, and the 2 center ones that are in between 1 and 41 and 81, that sums to 205 as well. And if you were to look at all 13 of them, there's 13 in total. If you look at both of these, right, since you have 5 of them that are in both, and there are 18 altogether, that means there are 13 in total. And again, this is going back to the connection with 13 and 9, which that I'll bring that in with the Tao Te Ching, but yeah, 9 and 13 are intrinsically connected, right? And the ones that are in both Yggdrasils, both vertical and horizontal, are right here in the 3 and 4 position and the 10 and 11 position. That I will bring into my moving Zulk and Tau matrix, as well as what brings in the 9, the 12, the 2 and 5 for my seasonal map on the Hob. But if you add all these up together, all 13 of them, you get 533, which when divided by 13, again, gives you 41. See, if you all these gray ones, there's 13 in total. You have 9 in the center, right, that make this square here, and then you have 4 corners, right, giving you a connection between 13 and 9. So here's the 4 corners, right? 5, 37, 45, and 77. See, 5, 45, 77, and 37. Add these up. You get 164. When divided by 4 for 4 corners, again, 41. Right? Oh yeah, and this is another interesting thing. So the least, or the smallest number is 5. The greatest number is 77, right? Now if you take the 1 to 4, that's missing, right? Because it begins at 5 and ends at 77, but there's 81 in total. If you take 1 to 4 and add it, you get 10. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 sums to 10. And then on this side, you have 4 digits, which are 78, 79, 80, and 81. You add those together, you get 318, right? Add 318 and 10, and you get 328, and 328 is 41 times 8. And another interesting thing about this, 533, is that if you were to find the kin equivalent on the 260 kin Zulkin matrix, if you were to find the equivalent to this number, 533, of what kin it is, you just have to subtract however many Zulkins you get until you get to a number either between 1 and 260. So 2 Zulkins is 520, so minus 2 Zulkins, and you're left with kin 13, which is Red Cosmic Skywalker, which has a lunar tone 13 cosmic, and solar seal that is numbered 13, right? So it is encoding the 13th kin as well, 13 of a kin code of 13.13, double 13, because it's got the 13th lunar tone and the 13th solar seal. Now if you look at the 9 in the center, these 9 here, right? And you lay them out on the number line again. By the way, 40, and all of these right here, 40, all the ones that are the odd numbers, right? Like these 2 9s, this 5, this 13, this 9 down here in the center. 41 is in the center of all of them. Just another thing. The 9 in the center, right? You lay out least to greatest, or lowest to highest. Add those up, you get 369. So not only do both Yggdrasils sum to 369, which is what every column and every row sum to, but the 9 here in the center, when added up, equal 369, as well as both Yggdrasils. So yeah, this is pretty weird. Like it essentially connects the dotted Ching, right, with the magic square of the moon in Yggdrasil world tree. So it essentially connects the verses of the Tao, which connect to various maps that go back to the wave spell, connects back to the Hob, connects to the Zulkin and the Hob. And I haven't even gotten into that. But it also connects back to the chakras of the human body and many, many other things. It's super bizarre. But I think this is oh yeah. So hang on, let me find yeah, hang on. So essentially what I did was, this is one of the Tau matrices. Hang on. Yeah, it's what is this? Oh yeah, let me see real quick. Hang on. Okay. So yeah, check this out. So within the Zulkin, right, there are 260 kin. Now, harmonics are 4-day sequences. So if each of one of these is a day, right, night, day, kin, you know, then every set of 4 is a harmonic. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, that's one harmonic. 5, 6, 7, 8, that's another harmonic, etc., etc. So if you were to divide 260 by the number 4, so finding out how many sets of 4 there are 65. Okay? Now what I did was I removed one singular harmonic, which is this one here in the center. This is what Jose Arguelles called the mystic void, which is harmonic 33. Because again, if you lay out a number line of from 1 all the way to 65, for instance, right? 33 sits perfectly in the center. Because you have the first 32, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 32, right? 33 in the center, and then the second set of 32, which is 34 to 65, right? And you may be thinking, oh, well, that's only 31. Well, you got to include 34, right? So making 32. Anyways, just think of 64, right? 64 is 32 times 2, plus 1 in the center, 33, which gives you 65. So, okay. Which is interesting because 33 can be seen as 3 times 3, right? And that goes back to 9, which there are 33 vertebrae in the human spine. So what I did was, in order to look at the mathematics of 64 and 65, right, and equate them to other things, you either have to include the 33rd, which is the 65th, or look at it as a set of 64, right? So what I did was, hang on one second. What I did was, I did the same thing with the numbers 80 and 81, right? Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera on blurry. Okay, yeah, there we go. Hang on one second. No, that's not going to help. I hope this video isn't upside down. But anyways, what I did was I removed the center one, 41, right? And what I did was I had a set of 80 for 80 other Tau verses, right? And then what I did was I divided 80 by 5, right? So, whatchamacallit, for the chromatics, right? The sets of 5. So what I did was I divided 80 by 5, and I got 16, right? And so 16 times 4 is 64. So for every set of 5 Tau verses, 4 kin are in connect to them, with the central one in the middle being sort of how did I put it? Within this map, those central ones are known as the mystic Tau, right? And they're not in. They're sort of like included for every day of the 4-day sequence, right? So, for instance, if we're in a harmonic, so say kin 1, that would be Tau verse 1. Kin 2 would be Tau verse 2. Kin 3, the blue of the sequence, would skip to 4, and then the yellow would be 5, right? The third applies to all 4 days, right? But you skip over that because that's the central. If you have, 5, 3 sits perfectly in the center. So it applies to the other 4, all 4, but it is what is known, I call it the mystic Tau. So, so what I did next, right, and the way that you go through this is it applies to the first 16 harmonics, and then you begin again, and you go to the 32nd, and then when you get to the 33rd harmonic, all 4 days relate to the central Tau verse. So the central harmonic within the Zolkin, right, the center 4 kin 129, 130, 131, and 132, what Jose Arguelles called the mystic void, relates to this central verse. And then after that, then it goes through the sequence again, starting at 42, and then to 49, then 50 to 57, 58, and 65, and it begins again, right? So, for each set of 5 verses, right, 3 is in the center, 8 is in the center, 13 is in the center, 18, 23, 28, 33, and 38. Now, since we're skipping past 41, right, it goes 44, 49, 54, 59, 64, 69, 74, and 79. Those are in the center of every set of 5, right? See what I'm saying? So what I then did next is I laid them all out. Hang on. Again, sorry for shaky cam. This is as best of equipment as I can do right now. So I laid them all out on a number line, including the 41, you know, because there's 16 sets of 5, right? And this 1 to 8, skipping the 9, going 10 to 17, so you have 8 and 8, right? Making 16, including this would make it 17, right? And 17 goes back to all kinds of other interesting math. It's like 9 and 17, right? If you lay out a number line from 1 to 17, 9 is in the center. So this is the connection between 9 and 17, right? As well as the 5 in the center of 1 to 9, right? And 13, 13 being in the center of 9 and 17. So you have these numbers 1, 5, 9, 13, and 17, right? Anyways, it's the same with this with the G breath, right? 1 cycle is 5 breaths, 2 is 9, 3 is 13, and 4 is 17, right? So, I can't remember if I did the math over here. But, hang on, let me do the math real quick and add these up and see what the number is. Because I had done it on another page, but I can't remember. 1 second. Okay, so 3 plus 8 plus 13 plus 18 plus 23 plus 28 plus 33 plus 38. Again, see, the first set, right, sums to 164, which 164 divided by 4 gives us 41. See? So, now let's add up these. It begins with 44, plus 49, plus 54, plus 59, plus 64, plus 69, plus 74, plus 79. This gives us 492. 492 divided by 41 is 12. So, these are what are known as the mystical Tau verses, right? So the first set of 8 gives us 164. The second set of 8 gives us 492, right? Which are both multiples of 41, 4 and 12. 4 and 12, which if you add them up together, you get 656. Divide that by 41, and you get 16. 16. You see? Which, if you add the center 41, because these are the 8, right, that come right here. These are the 8 that are right here, so let's add the center 41. Oh, my bad. You get 697 divided by 41 is 17. So 697. So that's the magic number. Now, I'm still decoding this. I'm still not entirely sure what all of this means. But, yeah, these are the tower ones because, you know, they're in the center, right? So from 1 to 41, the center 5 being 21, and from 41 to 81, the center 13 being 61. Yeah, I need to do a quick math real quick to try and remember why I... Yeah, let me see. Okay, so let's just add the very first one. Oh, my bad. I'm looking at my phone screen doing this. Okay, let's add 1, 41, and 81. That sums to 123. 123 divided by 41 is 3, okay? So let's add the center ones before 1 and 41 and 41 and 81. Again, 205, right? So let's add all of them like I did earlier, but even with the ones that are in between 11, 21, they're the 6, 16, 26, 36, 46. You see what I'm saying? So, and these are all cardinal numbers, right, of the cardinal Earth family. You see what I'm saying? You got red dragon, white world bridger, blue monkey, yellow warrior. Red dragon, white world bridger, blue monkey, yellow warrior. Red dragon, white world bridger, blue monkey, yellow warrior. And so, you see, they're all of the cardinal Earth family. So, let's add them all up. Let's not include the 41 just yet. Sorry. $656. There it is again. Going back to the 16, right? It's the mystical Tau verses that I decoded from applying it to the 64 or the 65 harmonics, right? Is connected to just the number line system. You see? These specific ones are connected to it. And again, if we add the 41, we get 609. So this map I'm still working on. You know what I'm saying? This map I'm still working on. Other than, and I'll make a video of my other Dao De Ching time maps and how they relate to the Hob and the Zolkin. But this is really profound. Basically what it does is it connects the Dao De Ching, the Yggdrasil, the magic square of the moon, the Zolkin, and the Hob. So stay tuned if you're interested. This is just something I wanted to kind of like give a preview to, because I'm still kind of going over a lot of the essentials to learn the law of time. But this is the kind of work that I'm trying to get out. So, and I need help with it. So, yeah, stay tuned, I suppose.